Hello, everybody listening to the Fairweather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with Mr. Alex Rodriguez. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week, wonderful day. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. I'm glad your background. I love to see it. Had to happen in MSG.
At the Mecca.
Had to. I mean, we couldn't get it done in Philly. We couldn't get it done anywhere else. So
you heard what not Benson, is Joel Embiid said, "You was not going to happen in my house. I was not going to let him do that in my house." That's how we roll. That's how we roll in Philly, baby. We don't let people just get records on us.
Yeah,
everybody goes to the Garden. Let me drop 50 tonight. Let me drop 60 tonight. Let me do something crazy tonight at the Garden.
Yeah, he only dropped 26, so I'm happy for that. But
he only broke a record that they had to stop the whole game for on the road. Oh, you saw what Benny the Butcher tweeted?
Yeah, I was dying. I was like, "Go!" He was right. Like, go back and look when Ray Allen did it. They didn't stop the game. He played defense right after that.
Right back on defense.
Yeah, man, they stopped that shit for him. Guess that's what they're gonna do now. So, but yeah, congrats to Steph breaking the record. He's definitely the best shooter of all time. Kanye and Drake chopping it up behind me, kissing, make up, good things there. But yeah, man, there's never a dull topic in sports. We always got shit to talk about, so it's good. It's just kind of like a week for me and stuff. The only highlight to me is going to be the whole Steph Curry thing. That's
you think, bro? I've actually there's a lot of shit going on.
There is.
So I spent most of my day, just listening to what's going on in sports media, reading articles. I'm very tapped into what's going on in the sports world. There's a lot of shit going on. But before we get to that, I do just want to say this real quick. I told you I was going to say it on air, and I just feel like I need to say it. So, guys, about half an hour ago, I'm really hungry. I hadn't had food all day. I was trying to figure out what can I get real quick that I don't always get all the time, right? So my dumb ass went against my better judgment, tried to be cute, and I went to Qdoba. Now, listen, Qdoba, if you're listening, I'm so sorry, okay? Your quality of food is garbage. I have never been so disappointed. Like, my stomach is not agreeing with what I just spent money on. Like, and food is normally supposed to put you in a good mood. I'm actually genuinely depressed after I ate the piece of turd that was inside the bowl that I just ordered for myself. And I thought when you customize a bowl, you get, I want this kind of rice, I want this kind of sauce, I want this kind of cheese, this kind of meat. There's nothing that I could have picked at that damn restaurant that would have made me happy with my meal today. So I just want to make sure that I do put that out there, because I don't normally get mad about what I eat, unless it's making me feel bad, like but this one made me feel bad emotionally, and that's not a good feeling. So shout out to Steph Curry.
Yeah, do better, Qdoba. Episode 48, rundown, week 14, we'll do our scores on the Pick'em. Spoiler alert, we're tied.
I'll let you back in.
Well, yeah, you let me back in.
I had to give you something to play for.
We'll talk about what the real issue is with the Cardinals now. I think we kind of get it, what's going on with them. There's a couple things, but we'll discuss that a little bit. And then Urban Meyer, once again, the urban legend, right back in the drama, right in the fold of stuff again.
He can't stay out the news portal.
He's got to be outside always, man. Of course, we're going to break down the best shooter of all time, Steph Curry, making history. Historical perspective of what was accomplished in that, and is there any comparisons to any other type of records that could be broken on this type of pace that he had. And then COVID bug. I just got my booster shot tonight, so after this show, I'm taking melatonin. I'm passing the fuck out because it should hit me like a wave.
You gotta get that Tylenol PM, bro.
Yeah, nah, gummy melatonins, man. Just pop 3 of them and you're good, man. You'd be like, this shit doesn't done. But COVID is back. COVID is infecting sports all over again. We'll go across all landscapes of sports. What's the impact of this moving forward? How can we get this under control? Is our leagues doing a good job of this? And then NFL playoffs are right around the corner, and you're seeing players that are not able to play now, and they're also in the playoff hunt. So we'll dive into that and see how that's going to impact the playoffs. And then lastly, we'll do our week 15 Pickums, 5 interesting games once again that KK and I will put our guesses into and see, who's going to win that. So Let's kick it off on the Pickums from week 14. Your boy tied up the score. We're sitting at a comfortable 32 out of 56 for both of us now. Baltimore and Cleveland, Lamar, he's like our Achilles heel on our fantasy team. As long as he's healthy, he'll be okay, but knocked him out the game. Cleveland gets a win. So we both got 0 points there.
Sad.
Yeah. Be sad. Dallas and the football team. We both knew what was going to happen there. Dallas wins. We both get a point.
Washington tried to make that one interesting, though.
They did, but it wasn't interesting enough. It was good,
but not good enough.
San Fran, Cincinnati. You had Cincinnati winning. I said San Fran's got this in the bag, man. Debo's back. Debo ain't gonna lose, man.
Well, we didn't know Debo. I didn't know Debo was gonna play. I think he was questionable going into that game. And questionable
is always a sure for me.
But wasn't it like a hamstring or something? Like, I don't play about hamstrings. Quad, hamstring, with all those soft tissues. I don't play with that.
Debo, just come back healthy for the playoffs for us. That's all we need, you boy, please. Buffalo, Tampa Bay. Buffalo try to make it an interesting game, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen. I get the point there, Tampa Bay. And then the Rams in Arizona. We both picked it. The Rams are going to do it. So we're both rewarded a point there. Very, very interesting week 14. Arizona's fallen out of being the favorite now. They still have won 10 games, but they're not the first seed anymore. Karen Rodgers is taking the crown there again. Like I said, it was going to happen. So
the bad man.
He's a bad man. Who do they play this weekend?
The Bears.
That's right. An easy win there, man.
It was competitive until like the fourth quarter, but
yeah.
This dude, Aaron, man. Whew.
What I learned from that game watching is Matt Nagy's done. He's definitely done. And we've said it before that he just can't develop quarterbacks, even though he didn't draft Trubisky. That wasn't his doing.
Was it?
I don't think it was.
I think they brought him in to coach him or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Because they were talking about it during the game. It was the GM, because they're talking about both GM and Nagy going to be gone.
Who was there before him? I don't remember.
Head coach wise?
Yeah.
John Fox. But I think to take away from that game is Justin Fields is just not protected. He's definitely not protected, and he's just running for his life every game. And it's sad to see that, because he got hit really hard one time, and I saw him on the ground. He just got up and started doing push-ups, just be like, I'm fine. And you hate seeing that happen to a young quarterback, because that can literally break him and ruin his career, and start off with a bad rap thinking, oh, he doesn't have the talent. Well, if you don't put the talent around him, he's definitely not going to be anything worth a shit. So like, there's very few Tom Brady, there's very few Aaron Rodgers, there's very few Peyton Mannings that are going to be able to play. And even at that, they had some sort of level of help with them, whether it was a strong O-line, whether it was a strong offense, was a strong defense, somebody was there to help. And this kid has nothing there. And with Khalil Mack gone, like, that definitely hurts your defense as well. So, but any takeaways from you this weekend?
I do have one big takeaway, actually. So going into the season, they had like the top 100 come out and stuff like that, and people have other lists, top quarterbacks, running backs, blah blah blah, right? So they listed Devontae Adams as the top receiver going into the season, and I was like, nah, I still take DeAndre Hopkins. I've officially, as of like this, not even a couple weeks ago, it was in my mind, but I needed to say this out loud. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in football.
Are you saying that because we got to see DeAndre Hopkins drop a football for the first time in his career?
Which was uncharacteristic of him, obviously. But
he's definitely hurt. You can tell he's definitely hurt.
Yeah, he's out for the rest of the regular season.
Yep.
So, maybe he comes back in the playoffs, who knows? But even outside of take away injuries, as of right now in their careers, where they're at, I mean, Devontae Adams' route running is, I was watching this, it was this one day, it was like a fake fade route.
Slant for the touchdown.
Fake fade, and he went slant. And I'm watching it, and I shed a tear. I really shed a tear. I was like, bro, this is the most beautiful route running I've seen since Chad Johnson. Because that was like, to me, the reason why I was such a big Chad Johnson fan was his route running. Like, I fall in love with the art of football and the art of sports. And that route running, what he was doing with his feet, and he's just physically imposing, and he's the best receiver in the league right now. And I'm sticking to it. That's my big takeaway.
Yeah. I've got no beef with that. I think when Hopkins is healthy, I think he's just as good too. It's just unfortunately we have to see him injured this year because he makes the most incredible catches. Whether it's overthrown, he'll still catch it. Whether it's underthrown, he's always going to make those catches. It's just we're not getting to see him healthy.
That's how I knew he was hurt when he dropped that ball.
Yeah,
I've never seen him drop shit in my life.
No, man, he definitely it's either overthrown that he's not going to catch it or it's not in his sight. But it's never to him and he misses it. But yeah, you can definitely tell that he's not hurt. But I've got no problem with that being said about Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is just what I like about him and Nuck is, well, Nuck's more vocal than he is, but Devontae Adams is very, very like quiet about shit. The only time he becomes vocal is when they ask him why did he want to swap jerseys with OBJ. That's the only time he really is vocal.
I heard him on an interview with the great University of Michigan alum, Rich Eisen. I heard it this morning, actually. I think it was from yesterday, but I heard it this morning. His maturity is on another level. Like, I always appreciate receivers who are mature and grown-ass men. Like, you can just see there's like a different approach that they take. The way he was answering questions, his cadence, just his everything was like perfect. I'm like, either he's perfect or his publicist is perfect. But whatever is going on over there with Devontae, that was like the cement that I needed to kind of just put that in the block. Like, yeah, he is definitely the best receiver in my opinion now in the league. So, but yes, good dude, man. He's definitely a good dude. So, with that being said, as long as the Packers stay healthy, they should win the NFC.
Yeah, they should.
They should.
I think Aaron Rodgers, when he's like not being Karen Rodgers and all that shit and being on the Pat McAfee show, I think he's good for that team because you get a lot of guys in there and he'll probably like put in their head like, look, if you work your ass off, I played with Hall of Fame or Ring of Honor type guys and Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, was the guy Josh Jones or whatever his name was, all these guys that have played here. And if you play your role, you'll get your payday and you'll get your ring. You might even get in the Hall of Fame. And I guarantee he puts that in all of his receivers every year. Because even look at Alan Lazard, like he's at best like a 3 on any team, but he's a 2 there, and he puts up good numbers and big catches for them.
I mean, look at Randall Cobb. I know he's hurt right now, but
yeah,
he resurrected him from the dead. Wherever, I think it was in Houston or whatever. He resurrected him from the dead, and he's had.
But every receiver, as a receiver, like you would want to play with a good arm, and that's probably the best arm in all of football, in my opinion, is Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get you the ball every time. He's going to find his one all the time. But Devontae Adams, I just think that he's taken that knowledge and he's running with it. Because you see, like in the offseason, they were saying, oh, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, Devontae Adams will probably go with him. I feel like Devontae is that type of a loyal dude that would go too, because he's due for a contract as well.
Yeah, Rich Eisen asked him that question actually. He said, "So is your free agency kind of with linked to Aaron Rodgers in any way?" Well, he was like, I'm taking this season as a season, and then we'll talk business during the summer. But obviously, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't resign, it's like, well, duh. Obviously, I might have to look another direction because you want to keep feeling that taste of success. And we've seen Jordan Love's tape. It's not that great.
Yeah.
Not that great. So.
It's not. But let's stay in that division. Let's stick with the Cardinals. We've been all year trying to find out what's their Achilles heel. What's wrong with them? We know the big one. The big one is definitely injuries. That's definitely a big one that we're seeing. However, watching that game with the Rams, I noticed like a lot of things that were very, very apparent to me because I finally got to sit down and watch them actually play. Yeah. And they play very, very young and very, very like, the word isn't immature, just new to winning.
The word.
I was, yeah.
That was the word I was thinking of. It was
because
that last drive was very immature.
You should have spiked the ball. You should
Yeah.
have spiked the ball and put yourself in a better position. But that was a dumb play. It showed, a youthful mistake. Even the head coach, I put more blame on the head coach than Kyler Murray on that. Like
Who's
he
also
should have been,
young.
yeah, who's also young. And I mean, not anything against McVay, who's young. He's been to the ship. He knows how to get there, obviously. And I'm not taking anything away from Cliff Kingsbury, but that was a bonehead play. Like you should have been throwing that flag out there, shooting the shit like Bill Belichick would be if they didn't give him a call. But yeah, and
He should
divisional
have kicked
games.
that field goal earlier. Because they kept running out of clock, and then Kyler Murray is taking sacks, and they still have to kick a field goal and still have to recover the ball either way. So I don't remember the name of the guy, the ESPN commentator. He's like, I don't know why they just kicked the ball now. Just kick the ball right now. I was like, yeah, kick the damn ball. Like, you obviously have a good kicker who can kick. Matt Brady's a good kicker, and he will be able to do a good onside kick, which he proved.
I think there was like 3 50-yard field goals in that game.
Yeah.
like, come on, you got to. I think he had the longest field goal until somebody broke it.
Until Justin Tucker broke
it this year, yeah. But it was him until then. So it's not like he's, Greg Zuerlein or anything like that. We know he can kick 50-yard field goals, but is he going to make it? Type of thing.
Break the leg.
Yeah, is just that's what I've been wanting to see. Like not wanting to see, but just get the confirmation that that's what it is. It's just they're very young.
Yeah,
they're like the Phoenix Suns. They made bonehead plays in the playoffs, and the first thing the Phoenix Suns should have did wasn't celebrating going up 2-0 like they were going to win the ship, and then Giannis came back and spanked that ass.
You know what's funny? You know what that last drive needed? That last drive needed Larry Fitzgerald. Because you need a veteran presence on the field. AJ Green's a veteran, but he's quiet. He's never come across as, oh, he's the leader of this group. You know what I mean? But outside of that, Zach Ertz, he's never when he was with Philly, he's not like he was the guy, the leader of the group. Larry Fitzgerald, I feel like would have helped Kyler Murray because we just talked about it last week with Chase Claypool. We haven't even talked about the Chase Claypool thing yet, have we, or did we?
We can talk about it, the drama.
But obviously you guys know what happened with last week with Chase Claypool. His dumbass was first down in the middle of a 2-minute drive. Well, under a minute at this point, 30 seconds left, and he lets 14 seconds come off the clock because he wants to do his touchdown. I mean, his first down dance.
First down.
And that last, you realize you need a veteran on the field for these kind of moments. Hence why Tom Brady's so good at these moments. Kyler Murray's young. Hopkins, like he's never really been in too many moments like this. Like you need like a grown ass Larry Fitzgerald. Like, oh, let's go, let's do this. Spike the ball. Like because Cliff Kingsbury couldn't get that message across fast enough. AJ Green's so quiet. Like Hopkins is hurt, is on the sideline. Like you need that's exactly what they would have needed on that kind of a play. I think if this Cardinals team had that's why they went and got JJ Watt and stuff like that. Like if they have these grown men in the locker room. When I asked you this question like 5 weeks ago as a weakness, when they were all healthy, then I would be like nothing. But now you can see that's what's going to ultimately be their demise when it comes to the playoffs because they are young.
Yeah, I also think that's a good building block for you too, to lose in that manner that way for somebody to step up and witness that because they're going to have to, the youth is definitely going to have to step up now because DeAndre Hopkins is always going to be out until playoffs, hopefully. So AJ Green, if he's going to be that guy, he's got to step up and be a one like he's always been or be more vocal about things. And then all those young receivers you got, Christian Kirk, Rondo Moore, whoever else is out there, like they're going to have to play smart and play efficient for Kyler Murray to succeed like they have all year. I mean, Colt McCoy is 2-0 as a starter right now. I'm not saying Colt McCoy is your answer, but they were able to get it done for Colt McCoy. And they did it against, I think, a tough team. I forgot one of the teams that Colt McCoy beat was a pretty tough game.
Probably San Francisco.
Might have been San Fran. But, you gotta – I don't think the boneheadedness is with them. I think that last play was just sudden and kind of not well drawn out. But if we want to talk about Chase Claypool and the Steelers, like I've been hearing Stephen A say it all week, man, that's not the Steeler way that you play football. That's not it. And you can see it in Mike Tomlin's face. Like he's over this shit. He's over the youth on that team. And I feel like the only guy that's like serious on offense besides Big Ben is Najee Harris. Najee Harris ain't dancing. Najee Harris ain't doing that. Yeah, he's got some commercials, but when it's time to play football, Najee Harris is playing football. All those receivers and DBs and stuff are TikToking and stuff.
Corvette.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, I love Juju. Don't get me wrong. Like, he hasn't played all year, or he hasn't played most of the year, but like that shit that he started, it's cute and all, but I mean, it just shows the immaturity on the team at that. You know, you're playing with high school kids, it feels like at this point, instead of grown men.
Yeah, you're playing Corvette.
Yeah, man.
And really quick, just not to cut you off, Colt McCoy, I think he was 2-1. He got thrashed by the Panthers in between the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When
we said Cam Newton was back, and then they sucked ever since.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, they got this. The problem with Pittsburgh, they got an immature, old ass Ben Roethlisberger trying to lead a bunch of kids, and he's not immature in the sense that he acts like a kid himself, but he had no leadership skills whatsoever. Like,
I don't know either.
They asked him about it. He was like, "That's not my job. That's the coach's job." What if they asked Tom Brady that? You think Tom Brady's gonna say that?
No,
absolutely not. Like, come on, like, and he about to be 40 years old and acting the way he acts. Like, yeah, he can be Superman on the field sometimes, but when it comes to like dealing with tough situations, he couldn't deal with AB. Juju's gotten out of hand. Now Chase Claypool's getting out of hand. And this is Ben's last year in Pittsburgh, at least, if not. So I don't think he really cares. So
I just don't think Juju's out of hand. I just think that Juju is
out of hand.
I wouldn't say out of hand.
Bro, all that. Listen.
Yeah, I guess.
You see Devontae Adams doing all that Corvette shit?
Nah.
DeAndre Hopkins. Do you see? I mean, I don't see.
They're also older.
I don't see Justin Jefferson on TikTok doing all these. Like, he does his gritty, but that's after he scores a touchdown, and that's it. And Justin Jefferson's 22 years old. Like, I don't see Justin Jefferson doing none of that. I don't see Cooper Kupp doing none of that. I don't see all these top receivers.
You're right. I meant, like, I don't think Juju would make even. I take that back, because there was what was in the playoffs that he did that shit on the Corvette on the logo, and then they got stomped.
And they got smacked. And that's the problem that I have. Like, once I saw that, I was like, he's never gonna be a number one receiver. I was like, no matter what team he's on, Juju Smith-Schuster is not a number one receiver. And AB told us this years ago. He was like, this dude's not a number one receiver. And I know we don't really, AB's kind of AB sometimes, and you don't want to listen to him all the time, but he was right. Juju is not a number one receiver at all. Like, I'm not seeing any maturity from him whatsoever.
Yeah, this isn't, and this, in my opinion, it's not Mike Tomlin's fault there either. It's just
no.
I don't put the blame on coaching. I put it more on the players and their maturity levels. But back to the Cardinals, I think them losing to the Rams, I think that's a big loss for them, because one, it's a division opponent. Two, it's a guy who could possibly leapfrog you in the division as well. And three, it's probably one of your tougher games of the season so far. I think a loss like that is something that they need, because it kind of makes them wake up and be like, hey, we are a better team than this.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if they don't go to, I don't think they'll go to the Super Bowl, but a lot of people have them projected to be one of the favorites to go.
I don't see it anymore.
I don't either. I see them as a first round or second round out. But even if they go, I think a loss will be what they need, kind of like the Rams, to be like, okay, we're better than this. We can play better as a team. Now let's go back and run this shit back with the same squad that we got. Because we know James Conner going to get paid next year to stay there. They're definitely going to pay him.
But watching that game and then watching that Green Bay game where they didn't have Devontae Adams and Green Bay still won the game, I watched those two games pretty much every snap. And watching that, I was like, oh, Arizona, I mean, the Rams are definitely better than the Cardinals. The
I think
Packers are definitely better than the Cardinals. The Bucks are definitely better than the Cardinals. And they're about to play the Cowboys in a couple weeks. We're going to see, because that youth is about to become a problem. The inexperience. I mean, it's not like they're that young, but they're young enough. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah, no, when you look at that team, like the playmakers on that team, they're all basically young. Buda Baker's young on defense. The DBs are all young. Chandler Jones may be the oldest guy out there, outside of JJ Watt, who hasn't played. All the receivers minus AJ Green, they're all pretty young. Quarterback young. The running backs, they're pretty young.
the coach pretty young.
The coach right there says that they're young. So it's just going to be a wake up call. I think they're set for success. I just think it's kind of like, we're going to take.
AJ Green is getting older.
Yeah, but they still have great receivers behind AJ Green.
Hopkins is starting to have the injury bug catch up to him. He's getting a little bit older too.
We can't say that just yet. This is year one of this happening to him. So let's see it happen another year and then go from there. But I think they drafted well with Rondell Moore. I think Christian Kirk is another receiver too that's just underutilized there. And then whoever other guy that they have that plays over there, he's going to be good too. So I think they're set for success. I think they'll be okay.
And they get the Lions next. They get to relax.
Yeah, exactly. Let's shift it. Let's go back to the urban legend himself. Jumping back into the news once again. So there's always buzz that Urban Meyer's, gonna jump ship and go back to college football. There's buzz that the organization is done with him. They're over the losing culture there, that he hasn't won the locker room. And now we get word that he kicked the shit out of the kicker.
Cool,
I just don't know what to believe anymore. I think Urban Meyer was kind of dumb by taking this job, in my personal opinion. I think, how many college football coaches come into the league and take the league by storm? I really can't think of a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Nick Saban failed at it.
Wait, you said college coaches?
College coaches, like
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll may be the only one that I can think of, really. But even before that, he was in the NFL. Then he left to go back to college football, and then he came back.
That's true. His first stint went terrible. It was with y'all, right?
Yep.
No, Urban Meyer is man. So
urban legend.
Listen, college kids between the age of 18 and 20, maybe 21, who have no bills, their biggest worry is just making sure that their family is good back home. Outside of that, they play football on Saturday and go party on Tuesday through Thursday or something. I don't know what, all that stuff, right? When you're dealing with grown ass men, the way you talk to college kids, 18 to 20, and the way you talk to grown ass men with mortgages, with car payments, with scholarships that they need to start putting money aside for, with, they got to leave their book club, and they got problems at home, and they're probably going through divorce. They're probably going like baby mama drama and all the stuff that a professional athlete goes through. The last thing they want is to be talked to like they're still a high school senior, 17, 18-year-old, right? And Urban Meyer, and that's the thing that you hear a lot of NBA professional athletes who have college coaches come down to them. They kind of struggle that first year, kind of just transitioning on how they talk to these grown ass men, right? So, listen, I used to get when I played football in high school, my coach used to like grab me and throw me back to the ground and do all this crazy stuff, and I was just like, oh, I'm just trying to make me grow up, right? Bro, you kick me and I'm 25, 30 years old. Josh Lambo is not a kid. If this man come and kicks me, bro, we're gonna have problems. Like, for real, we're gonna have serious problems. Like, I know you're my coach, but that's it. Like, you can't. I get a check to do this. I'm not doing this for a scholarship and books.
Yeah.
And Urban Meyer he's not cut out for this. I don't think he's ever going to be cut out for this. He's throwing his coaches under the bus. He saw that shiny new toy in Trevor Lawrence, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go get that Jacksonville job. Well, guess what? You made Trevor Lawrence one of the most decorated and polished college and high school quarterbacks of all time, and you're making him look like, no offense, Zach Wilson. So
I'm taking.
So it's like, I know, Shah Khan is, trying to make the right decision. Listen, I would, you know how they be firing these college coaches before the end of the season. You need to go fire your coach, bro. Like I would let this play out maybe one more week. I mean, you got Trevor Lawrence begging you to play James Robinson more minutes. Marvin Jones walking out of meetings. Your veteran receiver, and then you kick your kicker. Are you kidding me? My man's got to go, man. And if he wants another job, I don't know where he's gonna get it. He can go coach his local high school, but my man's got to go.
I think he could coach back in college football, but I just
nobody wants him.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I don't know.
Listen, all right. When those
hired head coach yet?
They did for the Clemson defense coordinator. When USC and Notre Dame, the rumors were like, oh, he might want to come back and coach, right? Mm-hmm. All the reports said none of those schools wanted anything to do with interviewing him because of his track record at Ohio State with his assistant coach. He knew, when he knew his assistant coach was beating up his wife and all that stuff. I mean, he knew it was happening and just chose to sweep it under the rug, acting nothing was happening, and then give this guy like different positions with the team. Like, and that's not a good look at all. And now you go into the NFL and your look has gotten even worse. Like, to me, and he, the way he left the University of Florida, the way he just kind of left Ohio State, just I don't think too many big time schools are going to be fond of him anymore. Like, if you were Oklahoma and you had that position open, I'm like, I probably wouldn't look that way. You know what I mean? Like, his best bet is go get a job like at FAU or something like that, because I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't. I think beginning of the season, and it's the Jaguars. Like, let's be real. I mean, they have like maybe 6 winning seasons total with the program or whatever. Some that have been like flashes in the pan, but there's no consistency there. So when you get a college head coach who's decorated and won national championship with 2 teams, and you're inheriting a very young team already as is, with the salary cap through the roof, the first pick overall, another first round pick. I think they have the most picks in the draft, to be honest with you. And why not take that gamble? I get it, because like you said, he can talk to younger players and things like that. But the veterans, like the Josh Lambos, the who's the D line guy that's there, the Miles Jack, the guys that are old, like the guys that are older that are there, they're not going to put up with that shit, and we saw the video of him out at the bar squeezing cheeks, doing things like that.
I mean, not getting on the team plane after your team just lost a Thursday night game. You don't go back to war with them on the plane. You go to a little college bar and you're filling up on college kids' booty cheeks. Like, come on, man. That's just
it's just not a good look, man. And I think the Jaguars are dumb. I bet you they'll bring him back another year because there's this investment there. Like, they see it. I would move on from it. I just don't think it's the right move for the organization. You got to have a coach. I know the idea is to go younger and develop a quarterback and head coach tandem. That's a new thing that's going on in the NFL now.
Yep.
But you just got to find a guy that's going to restore the locker room at this point, because I feel like everybody there is just like, well, we suck. We're not going to be good. Our head coach is partying with girls that we can't even get. So like, it's all stupid. And it goes back to my point of being like, how many college college head coaches come into the league and succeed? I mean, Chip Kelly had a little run for a second, but he came crashing really, really, really quick.
Don't you ever bring up that man's name around me. Have you ever watched Harry Potter? You know about Voldemort, like he who should not be named?
Yeah.
You refer to that guy as he who should not be named.
Well, he who should not be named, who then went on to San Francisco, crash and burn, and they try to give him another chance. And he lands in San Francisco, one season? and he crashed and burned.
I lost track after what he did to my Eagles, and he just
Yeah, exactly. So him, look at Matt Rule. We thought Matt Rule got it together, but they came crashing down to earth real quick. But
and they already fired Joe Brady.
They fired Joe Brady?
Yeah, he's already gone.
Oh my God.
You didn't know that? Yeah, my Joe Brady out just like that, out the door.
Like who else? Nick Saban, the great. Like he inherited the worst Dolphins team and couldn't win there. Instead, he went back and went opposite to Alabama and rolled tide. It's been history since. So the rat poison tastes great over there, I guess. So it's just unfortunate. But it's just unfortunate, man. I think it was a very intriguing hire. Everything looked good on paper, but it's just not working. And the Jaguars are historically bad. I'd put them right there with the Lions and the Jets. They're just really, really bad, and they never get anything right. And there's always a flash of something, but it's just not good. Like they don't draft well, and when they do draft well, the players are so good they want to get out of there. I.e. Ngakoue, i.e. Jalen Ramsey. Like it just makes sense. And then even at that, he starts bringing the band back together. He brings in Carlos Hyde and starts giving him more touches than James Robinson. Like Carlos Hyde.
Oh God, what's his name? I already forgot his name. What's the quarterback name? Tim Tebow. My God, he brings in Tim Tebow to play tight end. Are you kidding me? This shit was a joke since training camp. He brought in Tim Tebow, the now baseball player at this point. Oh, come back and play football after 10 years. Oh, switch positions. Not to something similar to quarterback, because there's no position similar to quarterback. Oh, no, go try tight end. Go try tight end. Like, this shit was he hired that strength and conditioning coach or something from like Iowa State who was racist. Like, this dude has been a joke since he started this since he got with this team. So
yeah, we also said that in the beginning, like that was the straw that broke the camel's back in the locker room too, was Tim Tebow coming in, that you're giving a spot to a guy who's been out of the league for 10 plus years now, who didn't want to convert 10 years ago to being this position. And you've got willing and able bodies that can do this job that are better than him. But because he's a God-fearing Christian boy that you coached back in the day and you're going to give him a chance now, that shit doesn't happen, man. I'm sorry. Like that shit doesn't fly. Somebody didn't get paid that day. And Tim Tebow got a little check when he was making 3 checks already.
It's been a joke since the start. The start.
But we'll see. First picks up for grabs again. We'll see what goes on there.
I mean, they own the first. They own it because Detroit still got that, right?
Detroit still got it, yeah.
And then y'all are what, second or third? Y'all are third.
I think we're third.
Okay.
I think they're fourth.
No offense, Jacksonville fans, but Jacksonville will be picking first or second.
Yeah.
So yeah, Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton. We'll see who goes.
Let's shift to basketball. Mr. Wardell Stephen Curry decided to set history yesterday against my New York Knicks. It's only right to do it in the Mecca. I'm not mad at that. It just like it couldn't happen anywhere else. But it is what it is.
Aren't you proud?
But I am proud of it because the Garden gave him a standing ovation.
No, that wasn't what I was asking you. Aren't you proud of your now 12-16 New York Knicks?
Oh man, like I text you on the side. I said the bing bong is done, man.
Bro,
like all that is done.
Bro, how did I get so bad so quick?
I don't know, because they started off hot, and it's hurting to watch because they were hanging with them in the game, and then like the fourth quarter they just let go. I don't know what it is. I think
if Julius Randle is your best player, that is what your team's going to be. That is what it is. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I know you love Julius Randle. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a fantastic basketball player. But if Julius Randle is your best player, you are at best what they finished last year, a first round exit. Nothing's going to change with that basketball team unless they get a veteran.
You're saying what I'm going to say. They need more veteran talent there. Like, don't get me wrong, Derrick Rose is a great player, but Derrick Rose
they need a veteran superstar.
Yeah, there needs to be somebody to complement Julius Randle. And RJ Barrett needs to be healthy. That's another thing. And RJ Barrett is healthy. Him and Julius Randle play well off of each other, off the ball. They play very well with each other. but there needs to be another big name player there. And like Quinn Grimes, like he had 27 points the other night. What the fucking do? He's just going to be a 3-point shooter. That's all he's going to be. But they got to get either draft somebody high in the first round or trade to get somebody. I just don't know who that player is going to be yet.
The only way the New York Knicks become relevant is if they make a splash in free agency. The draft is not going to help you guys. You know why? Because you guys are going to finish picking at 16, 17, or 18 every single year. That player, because you guys are not the best scouts as far as, scouting talent that late into the round, you guys did pretty well with Emmanuel Quickly. I give you guys that, but Emmanuel Quickly doesn't even get playing time. You guys need to go get you somebody who's a veteran who's looking for a new opportunity and that wants to be in New York and take on that challenge. Because a rookie is not going to be able to take on that challenge.
I get it, but at this point, the Kemba Walker out of the lineup thing failed. Fucking throw him back in there. I'm all for it. Throw him in there and see what happens now, because I just don't feel like it's a good mix. Trade him for sure.
Trust me, somebody could utilize him.
It's a tradable contract. It's a very tradable contract. I'm not mad with it, but I don't like seeing him. Like his answer to what they told him that he's out of the lineup was the best answer you could ever give. He said, "I'm there to cheer them on if they want me. If they don't, like I'm here to make sure that these guys do well." And I'm okay with that. But either get rid of them or don't. But anyways, we're not talking about my Knicks. I know they're trash. Okay, so we're not even in 8th seed. We're not even in the fucking hunt if we were to end it today. But Steph Curry decided to come into the Garden, put on a show, as he always does. He didn't drop 60 like I thought he would, but he dropped 26. And he set the all-time 3-point record, most made. In attendance was Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. Ray Allen obviously broke Reggie Miller, and then Steph broke Ray Allen that night too. So it was super cool to see that. I think the Mecca is just a great place or the Madison Square Garden is just a great place for things like this to happen to. Would have been nice for a Knicks win. I think the only reason they lost is because Charles Barkley picked them in the beginning. But other than that, like it's super cool to see that, because I feel like at least me, I feel like I've always taken Steph Curry for granted for the type of player that he is and how he's changed the game of basketball. Because in my opinion, he's a globetrotter playing basketball out there, the way he shoots. And the pace that he took to make as many threes as he did to beat Ray Allen, it's almost like a 400-point difference, which is crazy.
I laughed when I saw that stat.
It's insane.
Really insane.
It's like 700 and something to 1100, which is crazy. That's a crazy stat. That's a stat it's gonna be hard to break. It's like John Stockton's assist record. Like no one's gonna touch that, because he's like, I think 20 or 30 over Magic Johnson or whoever two is on that. He's got a commandable lead. So that's gonna be tough to break.
I'm gonna look that up for you right now.
Yeah, I know it's a big lead. Like no one's gonna catch
John Stockton has 15,806. Jason Kidd has 12,091.
He's got 3,000 more.
Chris Paul still playing, has 10,500, and he's not going to be playing for that much longer. So, and there's not that many point gods in the NBA right now.
people take John Stockton for granted too, and he averaged a comfortable like 12 or 13 points a game. I mean, that's great for a point guard.
He did his. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot. Yeah, he did his thing.
He's vanilla yogurt, but I mean that's a stat that's not going to ever be broken. Just like Steph Curry's is never going to be broken now. Like
Steph's untouchable.
Oh, absolutely, it's very untouchable. And the funny thing about it is, I watched a clip of Mark Jackson before the season he got fired, and they asked him about his backcourt. How does he feel about it? He said it's the best one that's ever going to be assembled.
He said the best shooters I've seen in my life.
Yeah, and then he said, "I'll take my bet on that," or whatever. I was like, dude, like he knew it. He knew it. And then they sent him packing, which is crazy. And then they gave him one of the other best shooters of all time to be the coach. Mm-hmm. But Steph, I mean, I'll let you take the floor. I could talk all night about Steph, man. I know
so kind of where you at. Obviously, as a LeBron fan, Steph has been a rival of mine for some time now. He's obviously, I take pride. I don't take pride, but it does make me feel better inside that LeBron's finals losses came to Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, like Dirk Nowitzki. Like these, we're talking about some of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? And yes, Steph is definitely in that cut. When you talk about the best at something ever, I mean, that means a lot, right? And it's one thing where everybody has a debate. Who's the greatest basketball player? Well, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Who's the greatest quarterback ever? Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Like everyone always has like a debate about everything, right? But the one universal thing that we can all agree on, the way I wish life was, like we all can agree on everything. The one universal thing, you can ask a million people, who is the greatest shooter of all time in the NBA? And a million people will say Wardell Stephen Curry. Because that dude, I mean, it's undeniable. Like what he was able to do. Like, so I was having this conversation a couple months ago about Mount Rushmore players, and I took offense how they try to put Steph Curry over Allen Iverson, right? And then I came back a couple weeks later and I apologized, and I feel like I've been having to apologize a lot since then to Steph Curry, because I think as a huge Allen Iverson fan, Allen Iverson revolutionized, just his swag, his culture. He revolutionized the culture of the NBA. On top of the fact that he was a little guy carrying the team to the NBA Finals. But what Steph Curry did is like you could be skinny light-skinned dude that with no supreme athletic ability, but damn, you can shoot the hell out of that basketball. He shoots the hell out of that basketball. And it's like
you have to respect it.
You have to respect it. And when you go down the line, kind of looking through history, or the current players right now that might have a chance, James Harden, no. Damian Lillard, no, probably not. Who else is a high volume three-pointer? Trae Young, no. Like, I just don't see anybody now.
Not gonna happen. And Steph's got like 4 or 5 years max left.
And on top of the fact, he has 4 or 5 more years left. On top, to add insult to injury, if you think you're going to break his record, he's on pace this year to make 443s, which would be the most all time in one season. And no one's going to be allowed to shoot the amount of 3-point shot that he shoots, because any shot for him, it may be Dame Lillard, it may come across as a bad shot, but they'll make it 9 times out of 10. So yeah, we tippy cap. He deserves it,
man. Like I always made the argument that I thought Ray Allen was the best shooter of all time, but I have no valid argument to that anymore. I will say this though, and I still stand by this, and it goes. I'll even take 2 players over Steph in the playoffs when it comes to shooting. I'll take Dame Lillard every time.
I'm taking Clay.
I'm taking Dame Lillard every time, and I'm taking Ray Allen because they've hit the big shots in the playoffs and in the finals.
I'm taking Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson. I got nothing against Klay either, man.
Game 6, Klay Thompson. That dude. The way he's always. Dion Sanders, Golden State Warriors are so lucky to have those championships, because if they didn't have Klay Thompson, no matter how many threes Steph Curry makes, 0% chance. That's different though. When we're just talking about pure shooting, like the dude who makes 100 threes in a row on camera, so it's not fake. Yeah, dude, pure shooting. His form, his release, his launch angles, he can do it off the dribble. He does it off the front, like however you want.
We've been saying this all year about them. Like they're a carbon copy of the championship team that was there. And in no way am I comparing this player to that player, but he's playing the same caliber that KD was playing there. Like Andrew Wiggins.
Don't say it.
I'm not saying
Harrison Barnes. You can say Harrison Barnes.
No, he's playing better than Harrison Barnes.
You can say I will allow you to say Harrison Barnes, because I will not allow you to say Kevin Durant. I'm sorry.
He's playing that role, just not as good, obviously, as Kevin Durant, but he's playing it the way that
Harrison Barnes.
Okay, Harrison Barnes, but he's playing better than Harrison Barnes was, man. You have to we joke about it all the time, but he's playing really, really, really good basketball right now. He really is. And he's not playing soft. He's more verbal. And just think about it. Clay's going to come back. And then they have all those players that are role players that are doing well. Jordan Poole, Peyton, Otto Porter. That's going to be your second pick. James Wiseman. They're going to be set, man. They're good.
All right.
They're good.
Don't get mad because I gotta pull up my Rolodex to get you some information about just impact. Well, these last couple of years with Golden State, you're probably right. He was averaging 19 his year one there, 18 and 18 the last couple of years. So I guess I can give you that. Andrew Wiggins, when he was there, is that he's playing better. He is playing better.
He's not going to be like,
But he's not Kevin Durant.
he's not Kevin Durant. I'm not saying that whatsoever.
Okay. All right.
He's not Kevin Durant. I'm saying he's playing the role that they need him to play like Kevin Durant did. He can be that guy. He can be, if they need him to be a one, he can be a one, but he's never going to be the one.
Well. However, nevertheless, when Klay Thompson comes back, those numbers do drop.
Oh, they will.
And they'll
drop.
probably look more like Harrison Barnes numbers. So
They probably
his role and responsibilities are just a lot higher right now.
They are, but I think that's what he needed to get out of a young Minnesota team that didn't have any veteran leadership. And why not go to the championship Golden State Warriors, man? They know how to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect place to mature a player, a first overall pick at that.
That's a fair assessment. But don't say Kevin Durant's name in the same sentence as Andrew Wiggins. I refuse to allow that on this show. I'm sorry.
The talent is not comparable whatsoever. Okay. I'm just saying the role that he plays on that team, just like all the other role players took on the roles of the Sean Livingstons and all the other guys that were there.
We are talking about Kevin Durant.
We are talking about Kevin Durant.
And then we're talking about Andrew Wiggins.
Hey, man. Jordan was playing really good basketball, similar to that of a Klay Thompson not being there right now.
And once Klay comes back, he go back to third fiddle, fourth fiddle if you count Draymond Green. But
exactly,
we'll see.
Exactly.
But big ups to Wardell though. That's the most important thing about this. Now, my question to you is: there what other records are out there that are as unbreakable as Steph's? And is his the most unbreakable record?
Oh, I told you the assist one already. That's the only one that stuck out to me because I've been thinking when you proposed this for a topic today, I was thinking about that all day. Like who can surpass the assist record that John Stockton has? And personally, me, I don't think anybody can. I don't think anybody's going to pass that record. That's going to be a record that's sat there. He's 3,000 over the next guy who's Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd has been out of the league, what, like 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
longer than that, he was a coach for a little bit.
And even like that, there were players that were averaging 10 assists a game. If you're averaging 10 assists a game, you're doing something right.
And let's look. Steve Nash is fourth. He's retired. Mark Jackson's fifth. He's retired. I mean, the only active player there is LeBron, and LeBron is 6,000 below, and LeBron's not getting 6,000 assists in the next 3 years. So, yeah, I mean,
more than Chris Paul?
Huh?
He's got more than Chris Paul?
Chris Paul's, I told you, he's third.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chris Paul's at 10,530. LeBron's at 9,809.
Chris Paul's got a chance to probably make two at best, but he's got 2 or 3 years left in him.
But look, all the triple doubles that Russell Westbrook averaged, and he's still only 12th on that list. So yeah, that is definitely that assist record is scary.
The triple double record isn't going to be broken either. I think Russell Westbrook set the tone for that, and I think I think if he leaves the Lakers and becomes a triple double magnet again that he is, it could just get worse.
Do you think he could play with that much energy for that much longer? Like Steph can keep throwing these threes up whenever he wants. Those threes are always going to keep coming up.
But I think Westbrook can play with that energy for a while.
Bro, he's not a spring chicken. He's getting up there in age.
He's not, but like he's also not in his element right now where he's told to do everything. He's having to take back.
He's averaging close to triple doubles. He's averaging 28 and 9 right now. So he's still close to getting the triple double. But I mean, how long do you want to keep doing that with no like you're not getting any playoff success whatsoever?
I think this is the time that you change a player's style and for the better. And I think that's what they're trying to do with him right now. But an old dog's gonna go back to the way an old dog is sometimes. That's just the way Russ plays. If we're losing, fuck it. Unleash Russ. Let him go. Let him go do what Russ does. That's how it's got to be.
How about, all right, let's switch sports. What about like Tom Brady got like the touchdown record or whatever? Do you think the way the game is now in football, you think that's like a record that could be caught?
I think so. I think that could be caught.
You think so? But you think someone can play 22 years of football? Because basically, you got to play a lot of football to be able to put that up. And I don't personally think I'll ever see a player play as long as Tom Brady on purpose, and that's a quarterback.
But also Tom Brady, I don't think would have had that record be more solidified if he didn't go to a Tampa Bay team, man. Like that's a team that's set up for you to score a shit ton of points. So,
but the majority of these came in New England when they were a running football team.
I know that, but like, look at the last couple of years. Those passing touchdowns dropped off. It definitely dropped off, and more to run.
Before that dropped off, he was still second and third on that list.
I know, but I'm saying like he got more, and he's put a bigger gap between that now because he went to a ready pass heavy offense right away. You have 3 probably of the top 10 receivers on your team in the NFL, like, and then at least 2 tight ends that are worth the shit on there, but a good tight end core. But I mean, I think that could be a record that might be able to be broken. It just depends how much longer Tom Brady plays, because the way they groom Patrick Mahomes, I feel like he could possibly be a guy to do it.
I don't know about that one actually. Patrick Mahomes, I think we get so enamored by just the way he plays, but because he had the 50 touchdown season, already, right? But it's not like he's gotten close to 50 since then. Like Aaron Rodgers has been in the 40s for if Aaron Rodgers keeps playing, I think Aaron Rodgers could probably touch that one. Because Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers becomes, like Tom Brady and just, let me just keep playing until I'm 44, 45, then Aaron Rodgers can touch that. But that to me, out of the current players, it's so easy to throw out Mahomes, but I feel like at some point Mahomes is gonna start I don't wish this on anybody, but the way he plays, I feel like at some point, kind of what we're seeing with Russell Wilson, he's gonna start having some nagging injuries every now and then, and I am a little concerned about that long term. Yeah. I don't know. That one's in the air. Your sport, baseball.
Oh, no one's gonna touch the home run record, even though it's flawed. Like no one's gonna catch Barry ever.
Hey, who cares?
Oh, I don't care. I'm telling you, like it's.
Listen, I don't take Barry Bonds slander. Okay,
I don't either. But I'm saying like that's a record. He's like 3. I think he's like 100 over from or 200 over from the next guy. Like it's
no. Oh no, he's not. Barry Bonds,
yeah.
Home runs,
yeah.
You said 100.
Yeah. What's the next one over?
No, he's at 750. Was he at 763? And the next closest, I think Hank Aaron was at 750 or something like that. Because Babe Ruth was at 714.
Check your stats on that one real quick.
Listen, I know my shit. Yeah, Hank Aaron's at 755. Barry Bonds is at 762, and Babe Ruth is at 714.
Okay, so
he's 7 over.
Yeah, and the next guy on that list that could beat it would be Pujols, and Pujols ain't gonna catch that.
Pujols ain't gonna catch that.
Yeah. The only guy I thought that would be able to break that record if he didn't get hurt or all the shit happened to him would have been Alex Rodriguez. I thought he was comfortably moving up that line, and it just didn't happen.
You know who I thought would be able to break it was Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout's starting to slow down now.
But those injuries are starting to hit him hard. And then the problem I feel like now, I don't know what it is, but nowadays I feel like players are just a lot of star players get hurt a lot. So I don't know who's going to be able to, because at the end of the day Barry Bonds played till he was like 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
He played for a while. So A, you got to be able to play for a while, but B, you got to have some seasons where you have 50, 60, 50, 40, 73. Like you have to have seasons like that. And I don't know who's going to be kicked. But the way the game is played now, it's basically home run and strikeout. So that helps.
But I think in any sports, you have to have like every season has to be good, if that makes any sense. If you want to be on like even Steph's 3-point record every year has been good for him. Like he was very low key coming into the league, still averaging almost 20 points a game. I think he was averaging like 18 his rookie year, which is good. But whoever was first in that draft, I think probably won Rookie of the Year. But hey, man, like you gotta put together good seasons every time you play. You can't play bad, and you gotta just stick it out, man, and you'll be able to do it.
My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you think LeBron's gonna break the point record?
Absolutely, yeah, he's gonna do it by the end of next year.
Yeah, I agree
All right,
too.
I've already listen. You know me, bro. You know how I feel about LeBron. I already have the calendar pulled up. I already have it predicted when's gonna happen. Basically,
Yes.
he's still averaging 25 points a game he's about to turn 37 in 2 weeks. 37 in 2 weeks, and he's still averaging 25 points a game like it's nothing. I think no, he's at 26 this year. He hitting 30 like it's nothing every single night. Now, injury starting to creep up every now and then, but he should have that record he should pass Karl Malone for second place by April, by late March, early April of this season, and then he'll catch Kareem by April by the end of next season. Easy.
Yeah.
That one's breakable because it's happening. We're live in full effect.
I agree. I agree 100% on that.
Cal Ripken, consecutive games played.
That one's not going to get
2,632. That's not being touched.
That's a hard one. That's a great one that you knew that. I was just about to say that too. That's a crazy one, but that's not going to be broken either. I don't think.
Can I give you one unbreakable stat? I don't really understand what it means, but this is one that I did a little bit of research on. Are you familiar with the sport squash?
Please, let's hear it.
Jahangir Khan has 555 consecutive squash wins.
You want to see that guy at a YMCA?
Apparently, he had those squash wins between 1981 and 1986, a 5-year run, 555 matches in a row. It's a Guinness World Book record, and according to pundits who I listen to, that record will not be touched. The number one most unbreakable record. I could be wrong, but that's what the people tell me at least. That's the word on the street, according to Spike Lee and them.
You don't want to see him. You don't want to see him at the local YMCA. That's for sure, man.
Not my man's, bro. Not my man's.
All right, let's.
And Joey Chestnut, my bad. And Joey Chestnut. Ain't nobody eating hot dogs at that kind of speed and like it's nothing. So yeah,
nobody wants to. More power to you. Watch you do that shit from afar. COVID is back. If you don't have your vaccines, please go get your vaccines.
Really quickly, COVID's not back. It's never left.
It hasn't left.
It didn't leave. It's still here.
But in sports, it's back because it disappears and then it comes back in a big wave every time.
It's been slow.
And when it comes back, though, it's because people like Karen Rodgers or Antonio Brown or all these people are fake getting the vaccine and saying they are, and then going crazy with stuff. So
I tested. I think the spike is more linked, just more towards like the weather is getting a little bit colder. It's holiday season. Everybody just linking up, going. Listen, man. It's literally about to be 2 years. These last 2 years have just been weird, and people just kind of want to live their lives, and I understand. And you a millionaire, because I always say sports is a microcosm of real life. And it's happening. You see, like the cases are spiking in sports. We haven't really seen it in the public yet, but it's going to happen. Like the thing about these athletes, they get tested every single day, so they know. A lot of us can be asymptomatic. You know what I mean? And we just don't know that we're spreading it, but we're asymptomatic because you either vaccinated or you have an amazing immune system, so you don't feel nothing, right? So it's like, yeah, it's spreading. It is going to spread, and it's a scary thought when if your team is. I mean, you got a team that you're cheering on for, and I don't think it's going to slow down. I think the next couple of weeks. I mean, Christmas is coming up. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, whatever you celebrate. Like there's a lot of holidays coming up right now, and people are
holiday season.
Yeah, it's people. I mean, school is out. If you're a student, your job might give you the last couple of weeks off because you got vacation days. You're traveling to different cities. It's not like this is just gonna just disappear. And
no.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I just think like some people handle it wrong, like i.e. Aaron Rodgers saying like, oh, he's been vaccinated, and then you come out and find out he's not. Or Antonio Brown, his personal chef leaking the information that he has a fake COVID card, and now the Bucs are in limbo. Do they want to cut him? Do they want to keep him? What do they want to do? But it's affecting teams, all sports. You look at the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield's in the protocol, the head coach is in the protocol, like 12 players on the team are under protocol, and they're still going to play that game apparently. The Chicago Bulls, everybody on the team, I think, has COVID. They had to cancel the game.
Luckily, they postponed that one
Yeah.
because imagine this: the NFL, you have to cancel your football game or you have to forfeit because the NFL did say we will not allow you to they're not going to lose money. So if you're going to forfeit the game, you're going to take the L basically. So that's a scary thing about this whole. It's especially in an NFL with the stretch run. There's 4 games left.
Mm-hmm.
I as an Eagles fan, I'm terrified for my Eagles life because we lose one player, we lose another. Like if we start having injuries, like we try to get into the playoffs. Now let's think about the top seeds, the Cardinals, the Rams. Like the Rams, luckily were able to get through their situation, but not everyone's built like the Rams. You know what I mean? Like what if because we saw Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper missed 2.5. He missed 2 games, and in the third game, he played like 25% of the snaps because he got that shit bad. You know what I mean? Like, and this is not the time of year you want to get that shit back because you're jockeying for playoff position or you're trying to get in the first place. You know what would happen if this was in January? Because it's gonna New Year's is about to happen, A-Rod, and you know what's gonna happen. People are going to meet up and play, and then it's gonna spread between teams again. And this is the week before the playoffs. And let's say, because they're not going to stop testing for the playoffs. And let's say January, 10th or whatever, the playoffs start. Tom Brady's tested positive. Mike Evans tested positive. Aaron Rodgers tested. Like, that's scary shit.
It is, but I think players of the Tom Brady caliber are smart about this. Like Tom Brady likes to win. Tom Brady's staying at home with his wife and kids. In a fucking bunker and they're not doing anything.
Correct.
And he's telling Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, hey, stay home with your beautiful wives and kids. Don't go out and do anything stupid. Okay. Correct. Do you want to win? So
you hit that right on the nose.
Exactly. OBJ will be out partying. Don't get me wrong.
OBJ his wife is about to give birth. He is not out partying. I can attest to that. OBJ is not partying because he's about. Listen, man, you gotta get over this hate for OBJ. He's looking good in LA again. He's happy.
He does look good.
He does have COVID now though, so he's definitely not out partying.
See, exactly.
But he can't go out partying no more.
I mean, that's the word is that he can't. But I mean, is he going to though? That's the thing. But I'm not here to subject OBJ to it. I'm just saying that when you play for a guy like a Tom Brady who's very vocal about everything. And the way to win, they're going to follow that. And I guarantee you that team will be pretty much healthy, i.e. the ABs and things like that. So, but yeah, man, it's creeping across all sports and you're seeing games canceled once again. Thank God the Chicago game was canceled because the entire team came down with it. NBA players left and right are getting popped with COVID. And like you said, we're in the stretch run for the playoffs. And if I'm the Browns, I'm kind of shitting my pants because
bro,
you're still in the hunt.
Right there.
you're still in the hunt. But even you said it perfectly. Like not everybody is also built like the Rams. The Rams, their running back, Darrell Henderson went out, and Sonny Michel like found some knees on Craigslist and put them on, and was able to run and carry my team to the playoffs. So I mean, thank you. It's the next guy up, and it seems like everybody in Cleveland is banged up. And they're still fighting for a chance to make the playoffs. And they have still a good chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
With a shitty record, but still alive. But all hopes have got to be like back against the wall now for them to go. And it's just not a fun place to be in if you're those teams. And I don't know. It's just unfortunate. I just think if you want to get, vaccinated, that's your personal preference. It's at the end of the day, I think it comes down to ignorance of some people, and this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying, listen to me. I just think it's more about the safety of others. And it causes a bigger rate for you to be less susceptible and to pass it on to others, as opposed to someone who's not vaccinated, walking around doing whatever they want. Athletes are reckless by nature. We know that. They're going to go do what they want to do. They're going to party. They're going to, be careless and things like that. And I just feel like this is like one other thing that some people are going to do. So it is what it is. It's just unfortunate because you want to see the best compete with the best. and now we have like the underlying sleeping virus that's there that could be on some of these people.
That bro, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that keeps. That's the thing that like terrifies me because no matter like you're getting ready for trying to get into this playoffs, right? But you got to plan for this other team, and then you got to plan for the other team, the COVID team, because Team COVID, like they're like a rock band. They doing numbers, showing up to a city near you. They're the Beatles. they showing up and they showing up heavy, and you got to plan. And the thing is, like you said, like Tom Brady, we know it's Tom Brady, bro. He gonna have that team. Listen, we quarantining together, whatever. We gonna be bunkered down for the next 2 months. Let's get back to the Super Bowl, win this thing, and then y'all can go party all spring long. We can go, wasn't that avocado tequila all you want after we accomplish this goal. And that's the thing. It's Tom Brady. Kyler Murray ain't saying that to his team. Like Kyler Murray's 23 years old. Matt Stafford. It's LA, bro. It's freaking LA. You know how hard it is to get all those guys in LA to just not do nothing. Green Bay. I think Green Bay will handle it well because it's Green Bay ain't shit to do in Green Bay. So, you need and they want to win that. Aaron Rodgers wants that second title so bad, so he gonna make. And Devontae Adams is a leader. Aaron Jones is a leader. The D's they going to me. They'll be fine. It's just these teams that are younger. That's why this Super Bowl is probably going to come down to like you said, the Chiefs and the Packers, or the Chiefs and the Bucks, or the Patriots. It's going to be the most mature teams. Because I remember when the bubble happened in NBA, the reason why I knew the Lakers were going to win that year is because they had the most mature player left, and that was LeBron James. So you need to have the most mature team to make it through this COVID situation because. The shit is spreading, bro. It's going to get into the crib at some point. You just gotta hope that you can fight it off and it don't enter your area. And that's the thing with the NFL this time of year. It's always scary just having to think about that because the NBA they'll be fine. They got 4 more months to play. They ain't worried about this too much right now. But NFL, it's happening in hockey too. They ain't worried about it. They got 4 months to play. They good, you know what I mean? So. It's a very weird, strange time, and we just got to kind of just start learning how to live with this stuff.
Yeah, I got my booster today, so after this, I'm popping 2 melatonin, and I'm passing out, man.
Melatonin's on the way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. I just want people to be smart about this. It's just unfortunate because we want, like I said, we want to see the best compete against the best, and when this is happening. I understand things are freakish. Things happen not at your knowing of stuff. But I think if you're an adult, you can make a cognate decision on certain things like, and I hate always using his name because, I have a hate for him, but OBJ flying from LA to New York to be in Times Square to party with everybody down there. And then he gets COVID. And
OBJ's not doing that, man. Damn.
I'm just saying, I know. I'm just giving an example of somebody who would do it.
But listen, have some love in your heart for some Odell Beckham, man.
I do.
He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. Aren't you happy to see? You saw that little security?
That was what I was going to say. That's the only thing I was like, okay, I like that right there. Yeah. I was happy for that. Yeah, I was happy for that. All right, let's wrap up the show. Before
we wrap up the show, I just want to give a shout out to Dion Sanders. Got the number 1 recruit to come to an HBCU, bro. You know how big that is, and
you address that man as Coach Prime, by the way.
Coach Prime. Listen, we're gonna have a special sometime soon where we're gonna really dig and dive deep into like college football and stuff. Cause I really want to have this conversation because the NIL, the impact that it's gonna have on college sports moving forward, the name, image, and likeness that these college players are getting paid now, it's having a huge impact already. Where a number 1 recruit will choose Jackson State over Florida State University and over whatever opportunities that he had. Because at the end of the day, he gonna get that bag. He gonna be on ESPN every week, and he's still gonna be the best at his position.
Yeah, and even at that, like another big thing to take into consideration too with the coach swapping of like jumping from a major program to another, the transfer portal has been crazy this year.
Crazy.
Like Bo Nix, who was God, second sent from Auburn.
We thought Bo Nix was the next Cam Newton at Auburn, and now he's headed to another team. We thought
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler was about to be the number 1 pick, and now he's headed to South Carolina. Like it's insane. The system is broken.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on, so that would be a great like show to have coming soon. So
we gonna get that done. We're gonna get that done.
I'm game with that. All right, let's go. Week 15 pick'ems. I got 5 interesting, one really boring one, but it is what it is. First game I got Kansas City versus the Chargers.
I'm concerned because Chris Jones might not be playing because Chris Jones got the COVID. Well, he's in COVID protocol, so Chris Jones is not playing. Kansas City, they already lost to the Chargers this year, so I don't want to pick against Kansas City, and the defense is playing excellent. So hopefully Melvin Ingram is going to be able to kind of just take on that role and wreak havoc on Justin Herbert.
Against his old team.
Huh?
Against his old team.
On top of that, and the Chargers, they played well, but they've been slightly inconsistent for my liking. Thursday night game, give me Patrick Mahomes. 20 to 17. 20 to 17. Mahomes, my homeboy.
I gotta go Kansas City too, man, because I'm picking them for the Super Bowl.
They could lose a game in the regular season.
Okay. I'm just still picking them to win. Remember what we said, like they could win every game out?
Correct. We did say that. We said that.
27-20 is what I'm calling on this.
That's really quick. That's funny because we literally did say that. And it's like, are we surprised that they're winning this many games?
we also poo-poo on players and then or teams and they do bad. So this one, in my opinion, might be the best game of the week. New England versus Indianapolis.
Man, I'm nervous. You know how I feel about New England. But I'm picking the Colts on this one.
Okay.
I'm picking the Colts. I know this is weird because I think New England, I assume New England should win every game for the rest of the season, but I'm picking the Colts because I think they're in prime position to go make a playoff run right now. Give me the Colts. Same score, 20 to 17.
Okay. I'm going New England. I'm going to go 24 to 17. So
all right, we're going to have some movement this week.
I say this is going to happen in the AFC South. I think Indy's going to get one more loss. Titans are going to lose this week too, whoever they play. And then we're going to get a leapfrog last 2 or 3 games of the season.
Let's look at this Titans schedule before we
I looked at
they play the Steelers. They play the Steelers.
Yeah. It's a little tough, the rest of their schedule going down the line.
I got the Titans in that one. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Next game, probably the most boring game that we'll see. But it's probably for pick 2 or 3. Houston versus Jacksonville.
Houston.
Davis Mills is starting the rest of the season.
Houston.
Okay.
Jackson, like all this shit that they're going through right now this week, you think Urban Meyer is going to get that locker room to be rah, 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 let's go play hard for Urban Meyer? Hell no, they out. They are mentally out. So give me Houston 35 to 17. Davis Mills, whatever his name is, give it to me 35 to 17.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
They trash.
32 to 20.
You know they don't give up on that man, right?
Huh? Oh, I know they can give up on him. They're gonna play for themselves.
I would not be. Yeah, okay. You might be right too. You might be right.
Green Bay versus Baltimore.
Green Bay, Baltimore is too hurt for me. Like Baltimore, and I said it going into the year. I'm worried that they're gonna have a lot of injuries, and I'm gonna play the tape. The injury bug is getting to Lamar's not gonna be healthy. Green Bay is healthy. Give me Green Bay. 29. Yeah, weird scores, right? 29 to 20.
I got Green Bay too, 32-28. Last game. I wanted to throw. I almost went Cowboys, Giants, but
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, that's why I took it out. But I decided to go this one because it's always a big pivotal divisional game that's played. And we had Mike Plus coming here and say, you might be able to beat him 2 times, but can't do it 3 times. So
We gonna
New
get you
Orleans,
back on again, Mike Bless.
yeah, New Orleans at Tampa Bay.
You know who I wanted to pick going into this week? I was like, you know, my dumb ass picked the Bills last week. I was like, I'm gonna keep the train going. Let's pick New Orleans, but Trevor Siemian, or I mean, not even Trevor Siemian. Taysom Hill
Beat the Jets, by the way.
they beat the Jets, bro. You saw Gardner Minshew. Steph Curry behind me can go play quarterback and go beat the Jets right now. I'm sorry. No offense to your team. No offense.
None
You
taken.
guys are mathematically out of the playoffs, by the way, just so you know. But
Okay,
anyway,
I know we're done. So are the Lions.
but I don't think the Bucks are losing it for the rest of the regular season. If that gives you any indication what games we're going to be picking for the next couple of weeks, I'm picking the Bucks every week now, just so you know. So yeah, give me the Bucks by a big margin because Tom Brady's gunning for MVP, probably trying to break a record, and he's trying to, flex on the New Orleans Saints that have he has not been able to beat in the regular season yet as a Buck. So give me the Bucks by a wide margin at home, 42-24.
Okay.
42-24.
I'm gonna go very close game. And I'm gonna go, the Saints get possession, score quick, fuck it up, and give Tom Brady extra time.
42 seconds on the clock. Yeah, plenty of time.
20 exactly. He said they gave me 43. Damn, they're generous.
That was nice.
28-27. I'm gonna give the Bucks by 1 point. So I'm gonna give them
1 point. Let's see what Tony Sports has to say about that. Aren't they like Vegas now? They know all the spreads and stuff like that. Let's see what Tony Sports got to say.
I'm game for that. But that's all the show. Anything else you want to add?
I already said Dion Sanders, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to the University of Michigan. We just flipping recruits left and right. We got the number 1 recruit out of the university, out of the state of Oregon. We got dudes from Oregon. Say I'm gonna move to the Midwest, go play at the Big House. So shout out to Big Blue. Shout out to USF because Jeff Scott's been active this winter, and he's trying to go land somebody too. So
yeah, man, please put together a winning program. That's all I want to see.
You got 1 more year. I might even give you the full year. If by week 8 it is not looking good, pack your bags and go home. I'm done with you. So
go.
And shout out to LeBron James because that's my dog. That's all. And shout out to Steph Curry still because Steph Curry.
Shout out to Ye and Drake for patching things up too, man.
That was all, man. You watched the interview? That was all for show, man. They didn't really hate each other, man. That's all love, bro. It's just it's all
I
love.
don't know. I'm kind of all in the gossip with Ye and stuff. I think it's pretty real. But also Pusha T sitting in the shadows just like
now Pusha T, that was real. Because Pusha T is not a punk.
Pusha T bully Drake into being a father. That's the biggest flex I have ever seen in my life. And bitches are like, oh my God, he's such a good dad. Oh, he's such a great dad. He's only a dad because Pusha T made him become a dad. That's why.
Shout out to Push.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just search the Fair Weather Podcast. You'll be able to find us there. And wherever you subscribe or listen to podcasts, we are there as well as the Fair Weather Podcast.
Also, shout out to Spike Lee because he always seems to be at the right place at the right time. And that is Mr. New York. That is Mr. New York. And he's probably cursed the New York Knicks from ever winning, but he is Mr. New York. So shout out to Mr. Spike. Peace.